Hey, this is Shatta back at it again with you guys. Just here to give you a crucial update of what has been going on within the last 5 months of what's been going for the quote-unquote Kickstarter. Me trying to save up my own money to help fund my own gamer lounge. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of hiccups in the whole entire process. I will say that the situation has not just been real, it's gotten a little bit too real. What a lot of people don't know is that I've actually been doing the situation as not just for the gamer lounge, I've also been going back to my past. I'll say about 7 years ago, I used to be homeless, and I got out of that situation with sheer luck, and it took me about a year to get out of it. And then unfortunately it's been back and forth, and at a later date I will get more into that. But since August, and since Main Event had helped me upload that vid, which now I can do it myself, I'm just only going to play the last part, which is the main important part. I'm not going to get into the Platinum Games thing. That's been squashed, that's over with. We're all over that. We just won't forget. Yeah, we won't forget about it, but we're over it. At this point, I just wanted to state that I've also been doing secretly some things that I'm filming of the surroundings of where I used to be at, and currently am at. I'm actually now homeless. And the funny thing is, it's not based on situation. It was actually based on me trying to do a report. A lot of people, when they want to do a report, they want to just be there for a week and then get out of it, or be there for a day and say they did research and then come to you with no. I don't want to talk about something I lived and then not be there. Now, I'm not sitting there saying, oh, I used to be a crackhead, so I want to tell you about my life, so I went back to being a crackhead. It's not exactly like that at all. This is a situation where I was actually using this as an example of how people got out of this situation like myself. When I was in here, I had to figure out loopholes to the situation, because most people, when they get homeless, they give up. They'll either kill themselves or they'll kill their family and do all types of lewd and crazy stuff. I'm showing to people that you can't be hopeless in a helpless situation. Some people will help you, but the main person that really needs to help is yourself. You're the main one that needs to do that, because in life, people don't care about your situation, and that's what my updates are going to be about. Because right now, I did have a job, now I don't, and I'm really mad about it. Like I've already reported in previous videos that haven't been released yet, I used to work for Oriental Trading Company. The company was okay until Warren Buffett bought it. And I think, in my opinion, this is my opinion, the company wasn't all that great to begin with. Even with Sam Taylor doing what he did on Undercover Boss, I think that was just a fluke, to be perfectly honest. He did it for show. He may have been sincere, but the people that he dealt with outside of those few people he talked to, the managers, management, HR, stuff like that, those are the people he should have been going after, and not trying to figure out what's going on with individual employees. I do appreciate the show itself. The people do help people, but they only help the people that you saw. They're not really helping the people that actually work there. They're actually doing the jobs, individuals, making sure that they retain their jobs and not end up being unemployed. Because you have, in my situation, I was dealing with faulty equipment. Then on top of that, if you don't remember, we were supposed to be dead a few weeks ago. The world was supposed to end, and being in a place like Oriental Trading is very similar to Amazon, which Amazon is actually is modeling after Oriental Trading, since it's been around a whole lot longer than Amazon. But Amazon's doing it better. Let's put it like that. It functions the same, but they're doing it 10 times better. The only problem is faulty equipment. I've been making many reports about it, and not my manager, but other people who have actually took his job. It's a weird situation. I'm not gonna get too much into it. I'm just gonna sit there and say I was forced to use bad equipment. I kept reporting it. People kept sending it back. Then when they fixed it, they were using if you had a faulty headphone jack on your Walkman or iPad, whatever you got right now, just imagine if that had a short, and you thinking to yourself, well, how can I ghetto rig my shit to get it to work? So some people use duct tape or electrical tape or something or whatever to keep the cord from shorting out. Well, these idiots were using Kleenex. There's a piece that holds the device to a belt that sticks to your hip, almost like a fanny pack, like a detachable fanny pack. Well, that cover is over the device, and on the inside there's a space for the headphone jack, which is meant to prevent anything to happen to the jack. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't do anything. I think it does the opposite. It actually is probably what causes the problems with the device. But some idiot thought it was a better idea to stuff a whole bunch of Kleenex in the device, and if there was enough electricity around going through that device, if there was something really wrong with it, that could have caused some serious damage to not only myself or to anyone else. Well, I went above and beyond, and for me to go above and beyond on that situation, I got fired for it. I'll get back into that at a later time, but I'm trying to keep this brief. The next thing I want to say is that within the next couple weeks, I'll say about 3 weeks from now, will determine if I'm going to continue to do this project or not. Because like I said, things are getting a little too real. It's getting out of hand. I'm supposed to be temporarily homeless. Now it's getting to the point where I might not be able to get out of this. And it's like I'm way too deep. And it's not even funny, because right now the people that's supposed to be, in my corner, aka my so-called significant other, she's actually complicating things. She's at a point where she has 2 jobs, but one is on call and the other one's temporary. But she works there and she's not hired on full time. Full-time employees make between $15 to $21 an hour. She's actually making 11. So, and then on top of that, she's only working 28 hours. Before I got fired, I was only making $8.50 plus incentives. So technically, based off of how I worked, I was making $10.50 an hour. And on top of that, my hours got severely cut because people were scared that the world was going to end. Then on top of that, it's the end of the season. Nothing was going to pick up until, late January anyway. So I've been missing weeks worth of work. So the last full check I got was the beginning of December. My last checks have been like $300, literally. And the price of living in Omaha is not bad. It's not LA bad, New York bad, Philly bad, Atlanta bad, but it's getting there. Okay, it's getting close. But $300, I don't care where you live, $300 ain't shit. You can do that extreme couponing all you want to. That shit don't work. Here it doesn't, because the only place you can really go to save money is Walmart. And I'll be talking about that more in my report. But as of right now, I'm just stating that things has gotten a little too real with this project, and I'm deciding, or in this situation, I'm being forced to decide if I should continue or not. I really don't want to give up on this, but it's looking like I might end up having to, because I've already made a really, really big sacrifice in November. I had to let my so-called business go. There's no more Negro install. I literally only had 3 customers last year, and the max they paid was like $50. And it's really disheartening. It really is. Well, I'm not here to tell you a sad story, or for you to make, feel sorry for me, and that's not what this is about. I just want people to know that there's always an other side to being part of the video game community or fighting game community. When you can't always live in a fantasy world, and I've never lived in one. That's why I've always had such a good imagination, because I always knew how to separate the two. But in this situation, my imagination is not helping, and real life is kicking my ass, and it's kicking everybody else's ass that's around me, and it's causing me to take up the slack for them. And that's what I've been doing for the past 5 months. I've been paying other people's bills and staying in motels when I shouldn't be staying in motels. I should be severely saving money, and I couldn't. And right now I'm actually at a Motel 6, but I shouldn't even be here. I'm literally spending the last $200 that I got between me and my significant other. When she got paid, it literally went from, she didn't even see the money. she's actually negative on her account right now. And the other thing that I've been talking about in my report is something that I used to do, and I stopped doing it, and then I got back in it for the report. I've been donating plasma. That's one of the things that a lot of homeless people have been doing, and ironically, it's really been helping. And really, a lot of people say, man, that's stupid. You donating plasma, that's stupid. Man, when you need that extra $280 a month, even though you got making a good check, that extra $280, that was video game money when I was doing it before. That's why I was playing all the LA Noirs, the Catherines, and every game that came out, and then I would take it right back to GameStop and get half my money back, depending on how soon I took it back. But I want to wrap this up. It's been a tough year of 2012, and 2013 is looking like it's the year of sacrifice for me. I won't say this is a great year yet, but I'm trying to be optimistic as I possibly can. But you guys pray for me, because I'm praying for you. And if you don't pray, you gotta believe in something, because if you don't, you'll fall for anything. Other than that, y'all take it easy.